I was not planning to make this video. To be fully honest, I've been working hard on my Halloween video that's gonna be premiering on the channel near the 30th, 31st. Make sure to watch it. Um, but this is simply something I wanted to talk about and get my mind off because I haven't been able to get away from it from the past 3 days. So may this video serve as a little bit of discussion. May this video serve as a little bit of recording for history, documentation, whatever you might, just for the future. But Bayonetta 3 and Hellena Taylor. Just briefly for people who might not be up to date with everything that's been happening, as some of you know, in Bayonetta 3 we got a new voice actress for Bayonetta. And originally, I and many people started to think this is going to be due to a change in direction in the story. There was going to be a sort of multi-dimensional, multi-timeline plot going on. In Twitter, actually, and Twitter's going to be mentioned a lot in this video, there was a lot of speculation there was going to be like a dual timeline, and there was going to be like, the Bayonetta we see on this game is actually Cerecita from Bayonetta 1 growing up, and the original Bayonetta was going to come out later. And, there was a whole of speculation and things. So we didn't think about much of Miss Hellena Taylor, the original voice of Bayonetta, not being cast as Bayonetta at first. But if I'm correct, on Sunday 16th, otherwise I'll put in the screen somewhere the correct date, she came to Twitter and posted these 4 videos back to back explaining how she actually was not going to voice Bayonetta because Hideki Kamiya, or basically Platinum Games, I should say, came out saying that they were only going to pay her $4,000 for her role as Bayonetta. Which I personally don't know how much the payment is in the industry. I'm not an expert to talk about this. There's many other people out there that might be able to give you more information about it. But as she mentioned, that's not enough for her livelihood. She mentioned going into a lot of depression and trauma and other things, and I think, if I remember correctly, even suicidal thoughts. Not specifically because of this, but because of the situation going on in UK. And basically she didn't accept the offer because it was an insult to her, and she stopped voicing the game, the character, and it went to Jennifer Hale. Now, when I originally heard Jennifer's voice acting, I thought she was amazing. I thought she was great. I thought she was channeling the character with her own energy. I had nothing but praises for her. Especially because I didn't think much about the change. I mean, I was going to Miss Taylor, definitely, but I thought Hale sounded amazing. And during these 4 videos in Twitter that Miss Taylor uploaded, there were some things that I didn't really agree with. Basically, the fact that she asked Boy to boycott the game already seemed suspicious to me, or rather, not good. But at the same time, she's spoiling a potential spin-off with Jean, saying just don't buy that. But the main thing to me was her jab, let's call it, Jennifer Hale, saying that she doesn't deserve to be called Bayonetta. She is a betrayer for doing the role. That's what I got out of what she was saying. That didn't sit well with me, especially because, I mean, I think I said it on my last stream the best. Shameless plug of my stream in 3, 2, 1. She threw a jab at the new voice actress, which I think sounds fantastic, by the way. I think she's doing a great job. I feel super bad for her. This is just my own perception. I don't know if this is the case, but if I was Jennifer Hale, I think it's her name. I mean, she's doing Bayonetta. That must be like a highlight of her career, especially as a woman with such an icon of a character. And now she's being basically told, you're a betrayer from the woman that made Bayonetta. That must feel horrible if she's a fan of the series. Then, news came to light that there was more on the background for this. This news hit me a lot because Bayonetta is an important franchise and character for me. I mean, I play this freaking game on PS3, and if you know anything about this series, that should tell you how much I love this series for me to have been playing this atrocity that I have right here. But basically, it almost ruined the launch of Bayonetta 3 for me, which sucks because I was expecting that game for the longest time. I pre-ordered the special edition, and I was gonna do an unboxing on my Twitch on the 28th, whenever it came up to my house. Basically, whenever it got delivered to my house, I was gonna do an unboxing, and I was gonna play the game for the first time live. Again, shameless plug. But after the news that it seems, if they're truth, of course, I don't really know at this point what's true or not, but Jason Schreier, I think I'm pronouncing his name right, if not, it's on screen. Jason Schreier came out saying that there was evidence and facts that what Miss Taylor was saying wasn't necessarily the whole truth. Apparently, she was offered $3,000 to $4,000 or whatever currency it was, that she mentioned as well, in order to film for 5 sessions. So she was gonna be paid that amount per session, which changes things quite a lot because it goes around 15,000, which is very decent for 5 sessions. Even I think so, and I don't even know anything about the industry. And apparently, she was asking for a 6-digit figure, which is a lot of money. And I don't really know if other really famous voice actors out there, like John Young Bosch, Tara Strong, or any other people that are super famous to their level, David Hayter, I don't know if they do 6-digit figures, but that seemed like a lot of money, especially for a game to the caliber of Bayonetta, which is not the most popular game out there, is still to this date somewhat niche in the video game world. And because she wasn't given this, she basically quit and went to Twitter. Now, I have a lot of conflicted feelings because, again, Miss Taylor's portrait of Bayonetta is super important to me. And it kind of saddened me that the person who made the character for me, who made such a great video game icon for women in general, I'd hope, turned out to basically lie, if that's what actually ended up happening. And that's not okay. That's not okay, and I think it should be addressed. At the end of the day, if that is what happened, I don't want to say more or too much. I'm just gonna put it out there that I don't agree with what Miss Taylor did. I think she's an amazing actress, and I hope for nothing but the best for her career in the future. I think she wants to do theater, but this all could have been dealt with much more poise and elegance, like Bayonetta herself could have done. And then a lot of people sadly were attacking Jennifer Hale, which, as you can see, she's nothing but a sweet little angel. She honestly represented a lot of the character through her actions and comments in the last couple days. And it kind of, this whole new information coming to light, if it is actually truth, and Hale's behavior and all of this and words actually revitalized my hype for this game. I'm going to be playing on stream on the 28th. Again, shameless plug. Feel free to come and hang. It's fun. We have a blast all the time. We can speak 3 languages during the stream. So, shameless plug. But this all got me thinking of how basically we've all been duped in a sense. Someone that I was having a very interesting discussion in Twitter about all of this said it the best. It's a simple matter of first strike gets the best judgment. And I think there's a lesson to be learned here in the fact that it is true. We get swayed away by words and the people we believe in, by the people we admire or that have had any impact in our lives. And that's not a good thing. We should always look at both sides of the coin, look at the whole story. I think Miss Hale also said something along those lines in an interview that she was given, or some words she gave in online. And I think this is a very important lesson for everyone out there. Whenever it comes to controversy, whenever it comes to canceling people, I mean, Kamiya had to basically close his Twitter or got it suspended in the meantime because he could not probably handle the backlash that was happening. And again, that's pretty. But there was another thing that I noticed that I kind of want to address before finishing the video and just put this topic to rest, because I honestly just want to enjoy my freaking game and just be done with it. But it kind of reminded me of Kyle McCarley, and if that name does not ring any bell, he is the American voice actor for Kageyama Shigeo, also known as Mop from Mob Psycho 100. For anyone out there watching Mob Psycho 103, you might notice he's not reprising his role as Mop, and that was apparently because he joined a union for voice actors. If that's the correct news, if I remember correctly, I didn't have time to look it up before making this video because I wanted to get it out as soon as possible. Apologies if this is not the exact correct information 100%. And because he joined a union in order to be paid fairly, he basically was fired from his role as Mob, which sucks because I know there's a lot of people that said his work was really good. I haven't personally heard him as Mob, but I can imagine he's a talented voice actor for having dubbed him in 2 seasons, and for his reason to be changed not being that he didn't do a good job, but rather because he got fired because he wasn't paid enough. And this whole situation with Miss Taylor brings up a rather interesting argument that voice actors in the West have it really tough. And one of the most disgusting things that I saw during this whole episode was, just as with Kyle's controversy, is the people and fans out there just basically saying, oh, well, I don't really care because I'm just gonna watch the Japanese dub. A lot of people, when the situation with Miss Taylor came out, also said, well, I'm just gonna play Bayonetta 3 in Japanese. It's the same voice actors. And I'm just gonna say this as abrasively and honestly as possible. Fuck you. For real. Fuck you for saying that, because this is people that legitimately have talent and have studied and have made an actual effort to do a good job, and you think it's funny to come and just be like, oh, well, Japanese dub is better, dub versus sub, and then just think it's okay to mug them like that. It's not cool. Just saying. This is the internet. You're entitled to say whatever the hell you want. That's true. You're entitled to come to a conversation, to an adult conversation and an adult discussion and say those things. But the way you look, the way you sound, is like a 5-year-old trying to get into an adult conversation in an adult group, trying to sound smart and saying something either funny or edgy or intelligent, and you just come out like a little That's how you sound. And if you're fine with sounding that way, then go ahead. You can say whatever the you want as long as you know how you sound. But if that's not your intention, if you just want to state a point and be controversial, you're not. You're just being a fucking dumbass. And I'm not even censoring that one. You're being a fucking dumbass, is what you're being. And you're not respecting the people that are working hard for bringing content to people that rather listen to it in their native language or in a dub that is not Japanese so they have an easier time to understand it. And the way people were treating Jennifer Hale, not cool. She probably was super excited to be Bayonetta. Such an empowering role as a woman, and then you all came and attacked her. When clearly it wasn't her fault, she was doing her job. If she was only doing her job, that would be one thing. She's being a real sweetheart. I imagine she's being super excited to voice Bayonetta in Bayonetta 3. She's doing a fantastic job from the trailers. And a lot of you attack her like the little shits you are. As a part of the video game and anime community, it disgusts me to see this, to be honest. Even I don't partake in English dubs for the most part, except for a very select few animes. But even I appreciate the effort a lot of the voice actors in the West partake when doing these roles. And it's not right for you to just brush that off the side or think, well, whatever, I don't care if they get fired because they don't pay better. These are people with their livelihoods on the fucking line. And I think as a community, we need to stop that. And like one of the many things I saw on Twitter, if I find I'll post it on screen, is that if there's one thing we have to give, if there's 2 things we gotta get out of this. Always look at both sides of the coin for every story. Look at both sides for every story. And there is an actual problem with Western voice actors and the way they're treated and paid on this medium. And it's not okay. Regardless of your opinions on dub versus sub, or the quality of voice acting and localizations in video games and anime in the West, it doesn't matter. People deserve to be paid fairly and being compensated for the hard work, training, education, background, and experience, no matter who they are. And not necessarily talking about Miss Taylor here, of course. So, luckily, after all of this, I'll be done with this topic. I won't talk about it again. I'm just going to let it all wash away, just enjoy my game, and just have fun with Bayonetta 3 because I've been waiting for this game for too long and I'm already done and tired with all this controversy. Thanks for watching the video. Let me know what your thoughts were on this. I don't particularly want the channel to become a commentary, review of news channel, reaction, but there's something that passionates me a lot, that I'm very passionate about. So I needed to get these words out there and just put my little grain of salt into the discussion and just talk about it. Are you getting Bayonetta 3? Are you excited about it? Did this whole situation make you cancel the game? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. I'm really interested to see what all of you guys have to say about this, as long as you keep it adult enough. Just saying. And in the meantime, it seems this will be our little to be continued. Look forward to the end of the month. I'm gonna be giving you, hopefully, a really good video about horror in video games. And I'll see you all next time. Jana.